Hey everybody, Mark here with another episode of Clearing the Cloud, making the internet work for you. So, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get a little frustrated at how cluttered my email inbox gets. Now, I use Gmail mostly, and what I found is that there are ways that you can keep those emails that you might want to see and keep and read later, but not necessarily see immediately in your inbox. There's a way to make that work and get those into a place where you can go and look at them later, but you don't necessarily feel like you have to act on them immediately. And the way to do that is using what Gmail calls filters and labels. So if you look at Gmail, on the left hand side, you see what you might traditionally call folders. You've got your inbox and your start and your sent mail and your drafts. And I've got a few extra ones that are created over here by various programs that I use. You've got chats, you've got all mail, you've got spam, you've got trash. In Gmail, they don't want to call these folders. They call them labels. And what happens is, for instance, when an email comes into your inbox, it's specifically labeled inbox. The Gmail also has these tabs over here, the social and promotions, and there are others that you can add. For instance, if an email specifically comes in from Twitter, Gmail has this rule where it automatically applies and says, okay, that needs to be labeled as social. So it'll end up in your social tab instead of in the primary tab. And that's a good way to keep your main inbox from getting cluttered. But there are a lot of other emails that I get that I don't necessarily need to act on immediately, like I said. And I want those to go into a different label and not appear in my inbox. So what we'll want to do is we'll want to go into your gear icon and select settings. And as you can see, you've got labels here and you've got filters here. Let's take a look at labels first. So as you can see, like I said, we've got all these labels. You've got inbox, starred, sent mail. They've also got categories. Those are your tabs. So you've got social, promotions. You can also get updates and forums. Those are two other tabs that you could add if you wanted to. They've also got the G plus labels. There's circles, and then your different circles that you might have. And then down here you've got your just generic labels. These are user created labels. You can see I use a program called Mailbox. It's automatically created some labels. I used to use another program called Airmail. That's already automatically created some labels. But what we'll want to do is we'll want to go ahead and create one of our own. And you do that by clicking on Create New Label. Now I'm going to call this new label Admin because I'm going to have this label and the filter that we're about to create work on emails that come in from my admin email address. So we'll do Create, and voila, it's just that easy. We've created an admin label. Now what we'll want to do is we'll want to go over to Filters, and I have no filters yet. Crazy, I know. But we'll go ahead and create a new filter. And what we'll want to do is we will want to add in that email there. And instead of doing it from a specific from, which I could do as well, I want to do it to. And what Gmail allows is the addition of sort of a tag, I guess, in the email address. And we'll call that tag admin, just like we called the label. You can use that plus sign and add anything to your email address, and it's going to work. And then you can go back later and create filters to filter out those emails. So one thing we'll want to do, I'm doing this specifically to keep my inbox from being cluttered. So I'm going to do skip the inbox and archive it. And then I also want to apply the label. So we'll select apply the label and then click on the drop down for admin. and then we will create filter. Now, one other thing you could do is you could also choose category. This is handy for some of the newer social media apps out there. You can add if it comes from them, you can add that to your social if you want to. So, but we'll go ahead and create this filter here. So that's created, okay. And then we can see that admin is empty. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and create a new email, and we'll say to clearing the cloud. Then we'll want to click on that so we can edit it. And we'll do plus admin and do tester email. And I might want to spell email right, although it doesn't really matter. And I'll go ahead and send that bad boy right there. Then we can look in the inbox and we can see that the inbox is empty. If we go to admin, it must not have gotten here yet. That's an old email. Seems to be taking a little while. Well, I'll be right back as soon as this email makes it. Alright, so we can see that email is not in my inbox, but let's go ahead and check that ad. Oh, look, there's an email there. Tester email. Yep, see, so it's in the admin. It's not in the inbox. I can go back and read it, test, later. And it's keeping my inbox from being cluttered, because if I get a lot of emails from this particular source and let's say there's some kind of alert maybe, and I'm looking for a specific alert, I can just go through pretty quickly, after 20 of them have come in and find that particular alert if I want to. So we'll go ahead and delete that. But let's go back and look at the labels and filters in a little more detail. Now, the labels are pretty straightforward. So, not a lot to see there. But the filters can be pretty complex. So you can filter based on who it's from, obviously who it's to, that's what we did. Something in the subject line, has the words or doesn't have, has an attachment, don't include chats. You can set it to filter based on the size of the email. There's a lot of options, greater than, less than, megabytes, kilobytes, bytes. You can skip the inbox, which we did. Mark it as read. I didn't do that because this is an email that I would like to go read later. But if it's something you just want to straight up archive, you can mark that as read. You can forward it. That's pretty nice. You can delete it. If you're getting a lot of your emails that are for some reason going to spam, that are actually emails that you want to see, if they're from a particular email address or something like that, you can tell it not to send it to spam. This is kind of a way of whitelisting emails from going into your spam box. Always mark it as important. Never mark it as important. Categorize. Like we talked about earlier, you can categorize for those tabs in your inbox. So there's lots of neat stuff you could do with filters. I highly encourage you to go in there and take a look at filters and find out how you can make them work for you. So that is this episode of Clearing the Cloud. I hope you learned something. I know I did in preparing for this episode. So until next time, keep the internet working for you.